everyone, this is the tutorial for Blindside by James Arthur. My name is Billy from Piano and Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. There are a number of ways of playing this with or without a capo, and the capo in different positions. I've gone for the one that sounds exactly like the track, which is fret 7. I will play a version at the end of the video where I don't use a capo. So if you'd like to get a capo, this is going to be the easiest version. There's a link in the description to buy a capo on Amazon, but I'll also show a capo-less version, non-capo version, with a timestamp on the screen. So let's get stuck straight in. So with our capo on fret 7, what we need is 4 chords to get through most of the song. Now the first chord that we need is a C major chord. Now I'm going to be counting the capo as a 0 here. So we have 3 on the A string, 2 on the D string, 0 on the G, 1 on the B, and an open E string on the bottom. We don't play the thick E string here. And that is a C major chord. That's the first chord that we're going to use to get through this song. The second chord is an E minor chord. And that is an open E string, 2, 2 on the A and D strings, and then 0, 0, 0 on the bottom 3 strings, E minor. We then have D major, 0 D string, 2 on the G, 3 on the B, 2 on the high E, and we don't play the top 2 strings that are closest to our nose. D major. And the last chord we're going to need is the only partially tricky chord. We can play 2 different versions. If you're confident with a minor bar chord on the A string, go 2 frets up from the capo and play that, which is 2, 4, 4, 3, 2. However, if you're not too confident with bar chords, like I know a few people are, then what we can do instead is play just the bottom 3 strings, which you saw me play on the introduction. 2 on the E string, 3 on the B string, and 4 on the G string above that. So 2, 3, 4. And that'll play the same type of sound. So just to put those chords together, we have this: C major, E minor, D major, B minor. The rhythm for that is pretty full on. The E minor and the B minor, which are the second and fourth chords, we only give them a short amount of time. For example, change, change. So, strumming wise, pretty full on. We always have kind of 2 strong strums, 1, 2, and then we're back and forth with alternate up and down strokes like this. So the C and the D chord get 2 strong strums, and then after that it's just padding it out with full on up and down strokes. So down, 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 down. Now those chords get you through the vast majority of the song, and I'm going to talk about the bridge chords in just a second. However, if you want the complete structure of the song, as well as the chords and the lyrics matching up, so you know exactly when to play every chord, let's say you're going to sing along to it or play along to it, then head on over to Patreon. There's a link in the description. You can get a handy PDF with everything matching up, so it saves you from writing it all out and potentially making a mistake. However, let's get stuck into the bridge. Now the bridge takes the E minor chord and the D major chord and loops them around and spends a bit longer on those chords. We have this. And we just loop that back and forth. Before it then leads back into that C chord and loops around the chords that we've already got used to. That happens at a couple of points in the song. Like I said, for the structure, head on over to Patreon. And that'll get you through the full thing. That's everything you need. So now we're going to look at a version without the capo. So we have 4 chords that we need. G major, which you can see on the screen. However, we'll play 3 on the E string, 2 on the A string, 0, 0 on the D and G. And you can either play 3, 3 on the B and E, or 0 and 3. Either or, doesn't matter. That's your first chord. The second chord is the only tricky chord on this one, which is a B minor chord. And we need to play 2 on the A string, 4, 4 on the D and G, 3 on the B, and then 2 on the high E. That is a bar chord, so you've got to watch out for getting this finger nice and straight. We then have A major. A major is 0, 2, 2, 2, 0. All the 2s are on the D, G and B strings. And finally we have an F sharp minor chord, which is about another bar chord, 2 on the E string, 4, 4 on the A and D, 2, 2, 2 on the bottom 3 strings. Now we have some quick changes going from the B minor to the A, and the quick change from F sharp minor to G. Let me demonstrate that. And in terms of strumming, what we have is some stresses on the G chord and some stresses on the A chord, like this. Stress, stress. Stress, stress. Stress, stress. Stress, stress. Yeah, and I dropped my plectrum through that. So that'll get you through the strumming for the vast majority of the song. However, there's one other part to it. Now I mentioned this in the capo version, but there is a link to a PDF download on my Patreon page. There's a link in the description where you can get the chords and the lyrics that match up perfectly. There'll be a version for the capo and there'll be a non-capo version, so you can get both if you like, and it just saves you from writing out the chords and potentially making a mistake. But yeah, get the lyrics and the chords matched up so you can just follow along word for word and chord for chord. Check that out. Now here's the bridge. The bridge goes from the B minor chord down to the A chord. And in terms of how long you stay on those chords for, it's basically a bar each. And we loop around that a couple of times before it heads back to the main chord progression, which works its way through most of the rest of the song. Like I said, if you want the structure, you can go on over to Patreon and you'll get it all fully there, so you know exactly which chord to play and when. And that's everything you need to get through the new song by James Arthur, which is actually a pretty catchy song. I wasn't a fan of his earlier stuff, but this song's pretty good actually. So please like and subscribe if you found that in any way useful. I really appreciate if you can do that, just helps grow the channel. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I shall see you in the next video.